Good evening and welcome to the Architectural Review Board for the Town of Eastchester, May 2nd, 2024. Tonight, could you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Sorry. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And roll call. Noel, could you please?
Sure. Enda McIntyre?
Here.
Jennifer Nemisek?
Here.
Laura Raffiani?
Here.
And we're missing Silvio Luca tonight.
All righty. So our first item on the agenda this evening is application 23-15, Sal's Market and Pizzeria. If you would, please put your stuff on the, you can take the mic with you, yes?
Yes, remember.
And
Hello.
good evening.
Let me see. Sorry about this. Hello, I'm Peter Gato, the architect for the project. With me here is owner's representation, Ali, if you have any questions for the ownership. We were here a month ago, and we have since then have made several changes to the project, keeping the essence of all the site issues and things, but some clarification in terms of materials and clarification, some landscaping. In addition, I'll just highlight the major changes. I know you have the set of drawings in front of you. You've had them to take a look. But as you could tell, some suggestion from the board, we took that under advisement and agreed with what the board's thinking was, and to create more of a uniform look with the addition in the back. So the stucco and color will be a seamless match of the new addition that it would be for the entire building. Second major item was the roof pitch is now essentially a flat roof. And all around the building itself, we had some notes and clarification in terms of what was going to be there. But we did a better job outlining the detailing in which is not just going to be painted, but if the parts of the building in the corner are damaged and such, cracked a little bit, there will be repairs done to the entire building first before it is resurfaced and repainted. In addition, there are some extraneous wires in the existing photos, I think a satellite dish and a couple of random things that are up there. None of that is going to be reattached to the building in the new addition because they're all obsolete. And I was just speaking to the client in the outside that all the wires that they're not, they're old wires, just it was up on the roof, they just didn't take them down. So now's the opportunity to clean up the entire building, properly treat it, freshen up the awning and the signage. In addition to that, cleaning up all the site elements, and for clarification, we're adding some, in the site plan you have before you, some landscape elements, which will be in the front, and on the side of the project as well. So landscape will be in the front buffer, defining the ingress and egress out of the site, as well as some landscaping in front between the bollards and the store. And then the entire blacktop, again similar to the building, will be repaired and resurfaced before the new striping would be applied. So it's a freshen up of the entire building, freshen up the entire site, improvement of landscaping on two different levels. This is not ours, but we're going to treat that as well. And that's essentially the items we have before you. Materials are same as last time, and I think the landscaping itself, we selected a very healthy, disease-free option, which is the American Hue. You have it on your sheet A301, American Hue. It's sort of a low shrub plant. It's good for detoxifying the air, as well as it's disease resistant. And the windows we're going to match, the couple new windows in the back are going to match the existing ones. And we show lighting that's controlled focus straight down, and all the other random items on this that currently exist on the side are going to be contained in a separate area, screened in, fenced in this area here. So no other associated cartons, containers, and such will be on the side or the front of the property. I'll be taking any questions.
On the site plan, the one that you
Yes.
just had up there, where you have that little triangle of,
This,
on the north elevation,
yes.
and then if I look at the north elevation photo, there's like an ice machine there. Is that ice machine gonna still be there?
Can you speak
Yeah.
into the microphone? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ali, and we're gonna move the machine inside. That's why we are increasing our area, like the cooler as well, and all those stuff. That's why we are making like extra space, so whatever is outside, so we can manage it inside.
So all of those like cooler kind of things that are located outside on that north elevation are all gonna be gone and be
Yeah, like
put inside?
yeah, definitely. That's not gonna be outside.
So it won't look like this anymore?
No.
That's why you're putting the grass there?
Yeah, because like there is already there is a little bit of the space. That space we're gonna use it like for the landscaping and all those stuff. Yep.
Okay. I don't know if it makes sense to make that, okay, so there's an owner's parking space there in the back? Is that
Yep.
where that is?
Yep.
I don't know if it makes sense to make that so tight, being that it's a two-way street there, a two-way lane.
10 feet is the minimum that you can have. And because you're going to have not just parking, you're also going to have deliveries and everything else. I don't think the triangle creeping into your parking area is going to help. I think you should bring it back a little bit and not put a tree in there. Sure. Because you're going to still have delivery trucks. That's correct.
We can keep the striped parking, absolutely.
Yeah, I think you'll find that that tree will get dinged up or just crushed. And then and I would widen that 10-foot wide.
The 11, well, okay.
It says 10 foot.
feet.
It
At
says
this
10 feet.
point,
That's
at
the
this point,
minimum
yeah.
you could have.
Okay.
Even if you, remember, you're going to have maintenance trucks going back there, or
Delivery
delivery
trucks.
trucks, or
Beverage-
and your own
big beverage
cars,
trucks, right?
parking.
Sprinter van side, I mean, nothing.
Yeah, but still, it's just a little bit tight. If you can make it just even 11 feet, 11 and a half feet, I think you'll find that work a little bit better.
But we have the deliveries from the front, not from the back area. We don't.
You don't do deliveries in the back?
No, it's gonna be just on the front. We have enough space on the front.
But you do know that now it's going to be tight. So you're going to have parking, you're going to have people backing up and out, and then you're going to have trucks coming in that same front space. So that's why if you remove that little triangle that you have the tree in, I think you'll need that extra space.
Cool.
That's fine.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
That's fine. Stripe it like this, it'll be, what needs to be.
Striping's fine, I just think you're going to waste your time by putting a planting area. And please don't put a tree, because like I said, people are going to be backing up.
Gotcha.
It's going to be in the way.
So the way it is now, do customers attempt to go in the back for parking?
No,
They
no,
don't.
They don't, because like we have enough space on the front, like 4 or 5, 3 cars, 4 cars.
I know
It's
that you
easily
do,
can-
but I just wondered if people try to go to the back.
No, they don't. No,
Okay. So,
that area is for our personal storage, like for the storage.
And this parking lot.
Yeah.
No, all customers park in the front. all in
Yeah.
the front.
Okay.
My main park in the front, and then they come out this way, so nobody's.
Yep.
But I don't understand what you mean by storage.
No, like over there, we don't use that area like for the customers and all those, so that's for our own use only.
Staff parking.
Yeah, like staff
Staff
park. Yeah,
parking,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like, okay, let me just look at the photos and see what it looks like now. Like, you're not,
Well, right now, it's just, yeah, it's kind of back of the house right now, you know.
okay,
And it's got a big, sort of, you know, back of a box truck, refrigerated box truck. So I think it makes more sense that that's out of bounds for public parking. It's pretty tight confines, you work there and are there all the time, but
but it needs to be neat and tidy.
yeah, it absolutely needs to be neat and tidy, and I think, expanding the side area and removing that triangle sort of landscaped area, I think is certainly a wise move. It looks nice, but I think realistically, it's probably not gonna work. So, I would certainly, agree with my colleague's comments regarding that. But, and again, opening up the sort of throat or the triangular entryway into this, I think can certainly help. I know you had made a comment about, what's going on at the front and,
Correct.
snow and sort of.
Right, and I'm glad you picked a native shrub, but I still don't think it's the best one. It has to be salt tolerant too, because it's gonna be salted.
It's right on 22.
It's right on the road. So after the meeting, I'll give you a list of things that maybe you can consider,
Sure.
all right? I just, and again, you could even bring those same shrubs up to the front of your building, or you don't need the shrubs right in front of your building, because it is a, place of business, and people are gonna be going in and out. The ones in the front and the street, at the sidewalk, that's directing the traffic, and that's far more important than the shrubs at the building. But I'm just considering where people are coming in and out, and then when they're backing out of parking spaces, and then you're gonna have other people. That's why I think not having that triangle will help you.
Yes.
And you're kind of facing north on that right-hand side of the building. It'll be very difficult to grow anything north-facing with the shadow of a building, and just to keep that in mind.
Makes sense.
So I just have a couple of comments. First of all, thank you for addressing all of the items that we discussed last time. I think your presentation and your response is appreciated and kind of addresses a lot of the items that we talked about. Just a couple of sort of questions that I have based on what you just laid out. Regarding like all the cabling and the wires, you do make reference on A10 that all of the the wires, whether they're existing, they're going to be tidied up, and anything that's not working or is abandoned, we would just ask that in general, anything that's abandoned based on looking at the pictures is removed and is patched, so that anything on the roof, anything on the parapets, anything on the four elevations is removed, tidied up, so that everything is clean and cohesive and looks like it's been thought about and addressed as part of this sort of upgrade. Did the footprint of the addition, did that increase in size, or was it always
No.
it's always the same size? Okay. Maybe just the fact that we're looking at it with a little shadowing on the
Site plan, yeah, that's not just maybe just.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see what else. We talked about.
I think the material, matching the material to the existing building also makes it look bigger, and it looks more cohesive. So it doesn't look like one big block on the top of this flag.
Right.
So I think that's why it makes it look a little bit bigger.
And for the streetscape, that's exactly right. And the streetscape photo, you could see, you barely
Yes.
notice, it looks just like a regular clean.
Yes, because the gas station's a little bit higher, and,
Yeah.
and the other roasters is a little bit lower, and you're right in the middle.
Right.
Now, just a sort of a question I had, and really it's kind of not pertinent to, I guess, the exterior review, but is the description of the bathroom, it's like an ADA bathroom, but really is it ADA? Because there's only one way up through the stairs, right? So like a person in a wheelchair wouldn't be able to get up the stairs, so it's really,
I mean, yeah, I'm not sure of the question, but it's as ADA as it could possibly be.
well, it's got more than the 5-foot turning
Correct,
radius. I
correct.
recognize that, but really, I guess to get up there, you know,
Needs assistance.
you would need to get up there.
Yeah, 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 that's
So
exactly.
let's just leave it at that then, I guess. Okay. So I think because we left the public hearing open the last time, we should just either
Continue the
probably
public hearing? Yeah.
continue it, or at least, you know,
Yeah.
put it out there. So I'd like to make a motion to open the public hearing on application number 23-15. Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Anybody here like to speak? Obviously, there's no members of the public here that would like to speak regarding this. I think the one person who spoke the last time, I think, in light of him not being here, I think a lot of the issues that he brought up have been addressed as part of this submission. So, again, thank you for that. So, that being the case, I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing on application 23-15. Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the public hearing is now closed on this application. Any other sort of comments in terms of air conditioning and stuff like that? Like, is there any sort of, you know, any air conditioning units, condensers, either for the walk-in box? Is that?
It's on top of the walk-in box usually, inside, right? Yeah, it's built inside the walk-in box, and we have a couple, just one, this exterior one that's there now, and whatever's on the roof that's still existing, going to remain. The walk-in box has a built-in fan on the top of it, so.
Okay, so that's all
It's all
inside? the structure.
inside, yes.
Okay. The one other thing we kind of talked about, and we appreciate the efforts, you know, that your design professional, as well as you being the applicant, in sort of upgrading the general appearance and sort of, you know, landscape of this space. Again, it's sort of at an entry point into our town. And obviously, you being a business person here, you know, wants to make the space as inviting as possible. Are there any sort of, is there any consideration been given to do any sort of interior upgrades to the space, enhance the interior space, similar to what you're proposing on the outside?
It's going to be it's going to be same. Only what we're going to do, we're going to relocate our cooler. Other than that, interior is going to be the same.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Yeah,
yeah.
listen, I think, as you can see, we all live in the town.
Absolutely.
And as part of our civic duty here, we take pride in what we do, and the guidance we try and offer as part of this board. And obviously, we want to try and take every opportunity to enhance the architecture and appeal and quality of life in our town. So,
Cool.
Again, my question is really just as part of this upgrade and enhancement, we would like it to be as comprehensive as it can be, not just on the outside and the landscaping, but possibly even on the inside to kind of give it a refresh and have it look as.
Yeah, as I mentioned, definitely we're going to renovate all those stuff, whatever needs to be done, and it's gonna be not a major change, but a little bit changes is gonna be there as per our requirement for the store. Yep.
And also to remember that, like I said, the shrubs in front are a great idea because you're going to redirect the traffic. You're going to have this nice soft border, green border that's going to look great, not higher than 3 feet high. But any type of shrub that's on a street will collect rubbish, will collect trash. Has nothing to do with your business or anything. It's just the way the wind blows it there.
Blows and it gets stuck.
So it has to be maintained, and it has to be maintained in height as well.
Yeah, sure.
Because people have to be able to be seen on the sidewalk and be seen from a car. So both parties have to be seen.
I understand.
Okay.
Yep, definitely. Like it's a business place. We have to maintain
Yes.
it. Yep.
I mean, it's going to be great for people on, Route 22, that they don't have people jutting out at that light.
I understand.
Yeah.
You're going to have directed traffic, which is much better. But
Cool.
you have to think about the pedestrians and the people coming in and out. And that's why it's important to maintain that shrub border.
Sure.
Yeah, I've actually, I drive up and down, Route 22 all the time, and, being stopped at the light, that's a pretty busy T-junction, and obviously with your space and the gas station adjacent, I've actually seen cars coming across the opposite street.
Wilmot?
Yeah, Wilmont, driving in and then cutting across the front of your space into the gas station. Like it's almost, it's
free-for-all.
incredulous to
Go.
kind of see it. And, that's a very, very busy intersection.
Cool.
A friend of mine got into an accident there where he kind of got T-boned a number of years back. So, there's a lot of people trying to run the light and make the light and on both directions. So, I certainly think this is going to hopefully inhibit that, erratic driving. But I just think that as this evolves and moves on, to the next board's review, I kind of just think that that's something that maybe they can be in a better position to evaluate and possibly weigh in on. But I certainly think that what you've presented to us certainly has addressed a lot, if not all, the concerns that we initially had.
Cool.
All righty. Any other questions or concerns? No? From either?
So I just, before you move on to a motion, if you want to consider a motion to make a referral to the planning board, I just wanted to, I heard potentially 3 recommendations to make to the planning board. So one would be to remove the tree at the corner of the building and widen the drive aisle at the north side of the building. The other is for the applicant to consider salt-tolerant native plants for the front landscaping that should be kept to no greater than 3 feet in height. And then, do you think that the existing notes on the plan are sufficient with regard to the wires and facilities, or do you think that needs to be revised? Would you recommend a revision to that?
Well, I think you've answered that. I
Yep.
think we have to kind of take you somewhat, the record and the meeting minutes is going to record, and again, I will defer to you as
Sure.
counsel and our sort of North Star, but if you feel that it needs to be further validated on the drawing, I think it's a simple note as part of, your submission to the planning board, that we just want to make sure that the finished article, i.e. the facade, the roof, the parapets, is clean, it's free from any encumbrances or any sort of wires or old, shoddy-looking equipment, if I can use that term. So if you
Yeah.
can do that, then I think it only helps your presentation in the fact that you've listened and addressed to the majority of the concerns, all the concerns that we had.
I think,
that's-
yeah, I think the note that's on sheet A010, and maybe if you could just, for the interest of, substantial completeness, add equipment. You have wires and cables, maybe just add equipment. It
Absolutely.
says all wires and cables to be neatly secured to the building and removed if not needed, and maybe just add equipment to that note.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
And thank you for the addition of lights. Do you have a cut sheet for the lights? And
It's
if you
on-
do, you have to bring it to the planning board.
Sure, will.
It is on one of
Okay.
these sheets, yeah.
That has to be brought to the next meeting.
So they're all our issues?
Yeah, I think those were all the new
Yeah.
issues. I think all the issues we identified last time have been picked up, and so I don't think we
Mm-hmm.
need any change to recommend to the planning board. I think those are the only two things that should be incorporated into the resolution of recommendation to the
Right,
planning board.
okay. So that being the case, I'd like to make a motion that we move application on, application 23-15, on to the planning board, considering the three items. To recap, remove the tree and the triangular island on the north side of the property, to address and select the appropriate landscaping, tighten up the notes, as we talked about regarding the existing wires and equipment on the building, and ensure that the lights and any sort of additional elements not sort of clearly identified are included as an attachment as part of the planning board. So, as part of your presentation to the planning board. So, that being the case, I'd like to have a motion that we can pass this on.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, very good. Thank you
Thank you.
again.
Thanks,
Good
board,
luck.
thanks so much, thank you.
Okay.
So I five of them. So any of these,
Thank you.
I can email them.
Yeah, if you could do that, that would be great.
I'll just send you this list and tell them to look at this
Sure.
as part of,
Okay, so I guess we need to make a motion to close the meeting.
Oh, yes, sorry. I'd like to make a motion to close the ARB meeting for May 2nd, 2024.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you and
you.
good night.
Good night.